All right, as Brian's piece just showed, when these storms make landfall, they often leave a path of destruction. Home and business owners can face thousands of dollars in damages if they're not properly insured. And are you covered? Well, Abraham Padron of Safeguard Insurance joins us this morning to discuss what you need to know before a storm approaches. And good morning again,
Yes,
Mr. Padron. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Yes, Mary.
We talked earlier about the importance of being prepared, because if you wait till the last minute, you're not going to get any coverage. Explain what that means.
That is correct. Basically, when the tropical storm, as the tropical storm moves into the Gulf, we basically cease, we call it a moratorium, we cease all coverage or writing any policies or making any changes to your policy. Basically, it's once it's in the Gulf, it's too late for you to make changes. Then at that time, you need to get prepared for the storm. Some of the things that we talked earlier that you might want to look into is definitely take inventory of your personal belongings. Also, well, we had a lot of claims in the past, basically with Dolly and also with these last hailstorms we had here about a month ago, well, with trees. A lot of trees are so close. You never realized in the valley. I never realized in the valley we had so many trees until after these storms. But because trees are so close to the homes, a lot of them we had damage because they either fell on cars or they fell on homes. So it's important that they trim those trees, back them off the homes. And you
also mentioned something very important, because a lot of people think they're prepared with the homeowner's insurance, but most oftentimes they don't have the flood that comes included, the flood insurance. Explain why.
Correct. A lot of us, because it's not required by the bank, by the mortgage or your lien holder, if you're not in a flood zone, many of us don't worry about it. The flood maps are changing, so many areas that didn't used to be in a flood zone are now. So it's important that you either look into buying your flood insurance. If you're not in a flood zone and you buy flood insurance right now and then it changes into a flood zone, you're still grandfathered, so you're still going to get the same rate as if you were not in a flood zone. So it's important that you look into that. Also the fact that it takes 30 days to take effect. That's big, because you'd be surprised how many people want to buy flood insurance when the hurricane's at our back door. Right.
Once it starts making its way into the map, of course, a lot of people want to ask questions about that. But another important factor you touched on also is just people need to be prepared and look at those policies, go through them, make sure you understand what you're buying yourself.
There's many different types of policies. For example, there's policies that only cover the structure. There's policies that might not have the adequate. You don't want to be underinsured. There's policies that might not have you might be replacement actual cash value as opposed to replacement cost. Definition is replacement cost minus depreciation equals actual cash value. You want to look at those type of things. You want to look at things, do you have the additional living expenses coverage, which basically means that while your house is damaged and it's being rebuilt, you get to live in a hotel and the insurance company gets to pay for it. Other things, commercial insurance, also businesses. It's important for businesses to look into their insurance policies. Do they have loss of income? If your business is damaged, then it's going to be out of operation for the next 3 months or so while it gets repaired. You want to make sure that you have that loss of income to replace the income that you lost during that time.
And speaking of losses, this year has been a pretty weather-like year where we've had pretty severe weather. Talk to us about what you've experienced.
I'll tell you what, over the last month and a half or so, we've had, seems like 5 hailstorms in the valley. It's been tough. It's been tough for all insurance companies. I know for us, we probably incurred losses somewhere in the neighborhood of $25 to $30 million just between the last month and a half. So the last thing we need right now is a hurricane. And if you remember, last Hurricane Dolly was actually a Category 1. So if I had to choose a hurricane, Dolly would have been the one.
So stick with Dolly.
Stick Dolly, and let's hope this year we don't get one.
And hopefully. And thank you again so much for coming by and giving us your expertise when it comes to insurance, because it really can save us not only our belongings, including our lives. We want to make sure we're protected. So thank you so much for being here this morning.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.